In December 2019, a novel virus was identified in Wuhan, China that caused severe acute respiratory syndrome. Quickly, this virus has spread around the world and become a pandemic. At the beginning, there is no official name for the disease. It's simply called the Wuhan Pneumonia, and the virus is known as Wuhan coronavirus. However, in January 2020, the World Health Organization recommended the disease to be called Coronavirus Disease 2019 or COVID-19, and the virus is known as 2019 coronavirus. However, there are opinions that the disease should not be called COVID-19. Instead, some people think it should still be called Wuhan pneumonia and Chinese virus. There are doubts raised of the intention of WHO to refuse to label the disease with China. If the Spanish flu is related to Spain by its name, why the Wuhan pneumonia cannot be related to China by its name? Let's check why Spanish flu is called Spanish flu. In the 4th of March 1918, the first case of Spanish flu is recorded of the case of Albert Gitchell, an army cook at Camp Funston in Kansas, United States. As the U.S. had entered World War I, the disease quickly spread from Camp Funston to other U.S. Army camps in Europe, becoming an epidemic. In late 1918, in the second wave of the Spanish flu, it has become a pandemic, spreading as far as India and China. However, to avoid impacting on the Army's morale, the countries fighting in World War I did not report the occurrence of the influenza pandemic. Instead, Spain was a neutral country during World War I and was the first to report it about the pandemic. Hence, all the countries started to call the pandemic Spanish flu. So, it seems that it is not wise to label the name of a disease to a particular country, as our initial idea of the country that the virus originates from may be wrong. Besides, naming a disease with the country that reports it will lead to both racist attacks and discouraging whistleblowing. Due to these reasons, in 2015, the WHO introduced and approved guidelines to stop associating a disease with the regions that the first outbreaks occurred. This guidelines underlined the point that viruses infect all humans. When an outbreak happens, everyone is at risk. However, when COVID-19 happened in 2019, some parties are still sticking with the old scripts and insist to associate the virus with China and calling it the China's fault. As stated by the International Journal of Science, Nature, we should end coronavirus stigma now. Let's fight coronavirus with whole humanity combined.